laser muskets, and Preston Garvey always talking about settlements that need help. In today's video, I decided to beat Fallout 4 as a Minuteman. Now, the rules for this build or challenge, whichever way you see it, I, number one, will only be allowed to use weapons that the Minutemen use, such as the laser musket, the flare gun to call in more Minutemen, and the mortar grenades you get. Those are the only main weapons I will be using. Number two, the only rule for power armor is the only set I'm allowed to use is the one at the Museum of Freedom since it's owned by the Minutemen. But I'm not allowed to use the armor pieces, only the frame, until I paint the actual set in Minutemen colors. Number three, I am only allowed to use outfits that the Minutemen would wear, such as the Minuteman outfit or the General's outfit. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's my first Fallout 4 video I've done. With that said, let's go. I first picked my traits of mostly, I evened everything out, put most in luck, charisma, and strength, because, I mean, Idiot Savant's a very good perk, and Gun Basher would be useful later. I then went out of the vault and into the Commonwealth. Now, I skipped the intro here just because, I mean, everyone's seen the intro. The intro is very boring with Fallout 4. I then took my way all the way to Concord, where I would get my first and my main weapon. I stopped by this Minuteman who was dead on the ground, and I picked up a bunch of fusion cells, and I found a militia hat, which would become a staple for the Minuteman character that I was making at this point. And then I got the laser musket from the Minutemen outside of the Museum of Freedom. Once I headed inside, I tested it out, and yeah, it dealt some pretty good damage, being able to one-tap the raiders inside. I grabbed some food, and then I was able to gun bash the rest of the raiders to save ammunition. I then got a level up from all of this, putting my first point into Idiot Savant. I don't play Fallout 4 much, but I know it's a good perk to get. I then talked to Sturgis and Preston, and they told me about the power armor on the roof. I then took the bobblehead that was there, and then I went to get a fusion core for the set of power armor. Then once I got there, I of course took off all of the power armor because I'm not using it until I can actually get a paint of the Minutemen for the power armor. Once stepping inside the power armor, I grabbed the minigun, which I could use to actually sell later. Of course, I can't use this, so I had to stash this away and pick my laser musket. I then found the Deathclaw and hopped out of the power armor and baited it to come to this one little spot here. Now this spot was special because the Deathclaw would get baited here, and I was able to just gun bash the Deathclaw to death, allowing me to actually kill the Deathclaw here with not too much effort. So after the Deathclaw kept running back and forth, I then chased down the Deathclaw when he was at low HP and shot him, killing the Deathclaw and saving the Museum of Freedom and the Minutemen. I then talked to Preston Garvey inside the museum and took the little power armor frame I had gotten and made sure to bring this frame all the way back to Sanctuary Hills. Once back there, I put the armor back on it and then tried to work on it, but I couldn't seem to have found the paint. I'm not sure if it's a Creation Club add-on. I think it is, but I couldn't find it, so I stowed that away for now. And then I just scrapped everything in Sanctuary to get a bunch of materials. I built the beds for the people of Sanctuary and Sturgis's quest, Sanctuary, of course. I then talked to Preston, who told me, hey man, go find another settlement, like Preston always does. But before that, I had gotten a couple of level ups, so I took Lone Wanderer, because I'm not going to be using a companion. And then I also took Toughness. Now, I could use a companion, but I don't know if I want to. I then got some water pumps down and talked to Sturgis. And then before, finishing his quest, I went over to Tim Pine's Bluff to talk to the settlers there. And they told me, hey, we have a problem at this power plant. Go deal with it. I said, hey, man, I'm a Minuteman. Let me go deal with it. So I found this bed to rest up to heal up before I got there. And then this red scorpion jumped out, chased me, and then just stabbed me to death. And so I made sure to not aggro that guy when I respawned. But I then went to the assembly plant and punched a bunch of the raiders. Now, I'm not gonna lie, gun bashing came in clutch throughout this run. But I was able to mainly hit these raiders, and yeah, they were not too big of an issue. I then sneak attacked Jared, killing him, and finishing the Corvega assembly plant. I then went back to Tim Pines Bluff, where the settlers were very thankful. I then went back to Sanctuary to finish Sanctuary, the quest for Sturges, getting me some more XP. From all this, I had gotten a level up, which I put in Rifleman to do more damage with the laser musket. I then talked to Preston, who told me to go clear out this Starlight Drive-In. I had also gotten a flare gun at this point, which I could use later on. I had sold some stuff to one of the traders, and then I went back to the Starlight Drive-In to basically go over and fix it up. And then I went back to Preston Garvey, and he told me, hey, good work on that! Another settlement's in need of help. So I had to go help another whole settlement. I mean, who would have guessed? But I then went over to Diamond City before helping that settlement to, you know, just advance the main quest, because I needed to actually get, you know, some more, like, components for my armor and hopefully progress with the Minuteman that way. And then I went to trade with Arturo to get some fusion cells, and I went to go find Nick Valentine. I then completed Story of the Century to get more XP, and then I watched Paul get beat up because I wanted to start Diamond City Blues, which gives you a lot of chems, which are very good. But before that, I had leveled up. I then went and convinced Henry to basically hear me out, and I went to go deal with this drug trade that he talked about. So I killed everyone there, and then I talked to Trish. And then Henry somehow followed me and got into an NPC fight with Trish. I don't know why, but hey man, I got a lot of drugs and chems from it. So I then went to go clear out Backstreet Apparel for one of the settlements that I needed, so that was pretty simple. I went to Backstreet Apparel and killed everyone there, then I went back to the settlement, told Preston Garvey everything was successful. I had actually gotten an Idiot Savant like hit off that, getting me a bunch of XP from that and a level up. So I then got the quest Taking Independence to start. But before that, I got some strength training to hopefully get gun bashing later on. I then scrapped a bunch of stuff just around Sanctuary Hills, and I crafted a short scope for my laser musket. I then basically set up a water purifier, then headed to Park Street Station. In here, it was actually one of the toughest parts of the playthrough. I had died a couple times in here, but I was able to gun bash my way through, because I did not have much fusion cells, so I bought some from Arturo, came back and killed everyone there. I then opened up the Vault 114. Once inside, I had murdered most people there with my laser musket, and yeah, it was pretty simple here. I was able to actually sneak up on a lot of people, like Dino here, killing him and saving Nick, getting me also the speech bobblehead to get more caps when trading with vendors. I then sneak attacked even more people and took some Nuka-Cola as a souvenir. I then sneak attacked Skinny Malone. I then took the ladder outside of the vault to get to the surface and had to go through the longest loading screen I have ever seen in Fallout 4. And then once outside, I talked to Nick, completing Unlikely Valentine. I then went to Mo to sell some of the weapons I had gotten from the place, and I also bought some stim packs. I then talked to Nick about my case, and then I told the secretary about Kellogg to get Kellogg's key. Once inside Kellogg's house, we were able to get a bunch of loot, like purified water, Nuka-Cola Quantum, and the evidence we needed. I then told Dogmeat to find Sean, and then I took a point in Rifleman. I then showed Dogmeat the cigars, the bloodied bandages, and then absolutely murdered this Yaogawai during our run to Fort Hagen. And then I found this Assaultron laying on the ground. I'm wondering, hey, what's it there for? So I give Dogmeat the little scent. And then before getting there, I decided to upgrade my musket. But for some reason, when I upgraded it, it went to a 5 crank instead of a 3 crank. I don't know how, if someone in the comments can tell me. But I then headed to Fort Hagen, of course. And once inside, I was able to kill the synths that were roaming around and got so many fusion cells. Because every synth I killed, you have to remember, they all have guns, so I'm able to pick up the pistols to get extra fusion cells with them. for the musket. Once I killed everything on the top floor, I went to the basement where Kellogg is held, of course, and I killed more synths down there, getting me a level up. I then absolutely one-tapped Kellogg. I didn't think I could, but yeah, I just one-tapped Kellogg and killed the rest of his synths, getting me even more fusion cells, ending with about almost 400 fusion cells. I then watched the Pridwin arrive, of course. Always looks good. And then I went back to Arturo to sell some more stuff I had gotten. I then went to Mr. Nick Valentine and told him everything I had found. I then put in my level up finally, getting Idiot Savant level 2, getting me more XP. Watched Finn get stabbed in Good Neighbor once we were told to go there. And then I sold some stuff to Cleo, making me some more caps. After that, we then hopped into the little simulation pod and learned about, you know, what happened to Sean. And learned that, oh, you know, he's in the Institute. I guess we gotta teleport there, man. And so I'm like, okay, I gotta build a teleporter with some vague schematics I have. But lucky for me, I got a level up, so I was able to put more points into Bloody Mess, doing more damage. But I went to the Glowing Sea to find Virgil so that we could actually build this teleporter. So we killed some feral ghouls along the way, and then I made sure to head into Virgil's laboratory or his cave. But yeah, you know, we talked to Virgil and he's like, hey man, can you like help me out? And so I said, sure man. And so I went to Green Tech Genetics and went to go kill a courser. And yeah, the good thing about Green Tech Genetics, a lot of these gunners had laser pistols, so I was able to get a lot of fusion cells. I also got more points in the strength training to actually get Gun Basher. I then killed some more gunners along the way, allowing me to get even more fusion cells. And I hit both of these gunners in VATS, which looked pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. Because VATS in Fallout 4, I'm not gonna lie, VATS in Fallout 4 looks pretty good compared to New Vegas. But after all the gunners were dead, I then went to go kill the Courser. Now the Courser has stim packs, so he will actually try to heal himself, which, you know, I didn't know. So this was a very tough fight, but luckily for the 5-crank repeater, it's able to take down the Courser. Once the Courser is dead, I'm able to get the Courser chip and his outfit and all this stuff I can just sell. I then go to Arturo, of course, to sell all of these items, and I also get some more fusion cells from him. I then go to Dr. Amari and tell her my findings, and she's like, hey, go find the railroad. Now, I hate the railroad, but I have to go there and type in their super secret password. Spoiler alert, it's literally just their name, Railroad. I don't know why they think it's a good password for their place. I then go inside and talk to Desdemona, and she tells me, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I said, hey, I'm just here to decode this thing. She's like, oh, alright. I'm not gonna ask any questions. And then I talk to Tinker Tom, and this dude just decodes the Courser's chip. After this, I'm able to get a level up and put another point into strength training, finally getting me to the level where I can get Gun Basher. I then talk to Preston Garvey right outside of the fort and tell him all my findings about the Courser's chip and the Institute and all that. But before I do everything with that, we gotta take over the fort. So I line up outside, everything's looking all cinematic, I have 600 fusion cells, I am ready for this fight. I then charge in, killing these Mirelurks. Now these Mirelurks were no joke. If you hit them in their shell, they take almost no damage. But if I 5-crank the repeater, I'm able to kill them. I then, you know, shoot the Mirelurk Queen, and yeah, she doesn't take that much damage, so it takes me a lot of shots and a lot of fusion cells to kill the Mirelurk Queen, but because of a 5-crank repeater, I'm able to ultimately kill the Mirelurk Queen after lots and lots of trying. I then power up the Minuteman beacon, and I am able to finally broadcast the message of the Minutemen and complete taking independence. I then go back to Sanctuary Hills, where I'm able to finally build the relay to get myself inside of the Institute. I then take a level up into Gun Basher, and then I go into the Institute. Now, I thought of something here. If I was able to get an Idiot Savant to pop here, I would get so much XP. And luckily for me, I got it. getting me over 2,000 XP and a level up just from completing this. That was one of the best XP drops I think I've ever seen playing Fallout 4. But from that, I was able to put another point into Basher. I then scanned the network on here for the Minutemen, and, you know, just to see what's going on in the Institute. I sent all that stuff back to Sturgis, and then I talked to Father, or Sean, and I didn't really care what he said. I said to him, yeah, man, I don't like what you're doing. And so I just went out and TP'd all the way back to the Commonwealth. And then I talked to Preston Garvey and told him everything. It was like, oh, man, it's not good, man. And so I told Sturgis about the network scanner. And then the fun part. I have to get all these settlements to align with the Minutemen. So yeah, that's what I do. I first kill a raider and then get a locket for a dude, for his wife. And then, yeah, that's one settlement down. My next settlement that I helped out was to basically kill some feral ghouls for the settlement, and yeah, they were pretty simple besides from the glowing one that I had to kill. I then talked to Preston Garvey, and he told me to go help out this settlement of robots, so I said, yeah man, sure. And so these robots were like, hey, can you go help me get like a water supply? So I said, sure. And when I went in the place, a super mutant just came up behind me and exploded me. I then went inside and, of course, dealt with all these Mirelurks. Pretty simple by now. I was pretty leveled up, so I was able to kill the Mirelurks pretty simply and just power up the pump. I'm glad a Queen Mirelurk did not come out of nowhere and just, like, mess me up. And then I went back and talked to Mr. Preston Garvey, who completed the quest, and then I went to another settlement that, you know, I had cleared the ghouls for and completed that quest, getting me a level up at this point, allowing me to take toughness. I then went back to another settlement to clear it out, and yeah, that was it, and I was able to talk to Preston Garvey and start the quest Old Guns, because I had gotten enough settlements. I then went to a Minuteman, and finally, after so long, I could wear a Minuteman outfit. I then went over to Ronnie Shaw, and we went over to the little cave, and now I thought I would lose it here, but Bethesda didn't make me use the rocket launcher to clear the rubble. I just had to scrap it. So I went inside, and I went to Sarge, and yeah, Sarge was actually pretty simple. I thought it would be harder, but a 5-crank laser musket is just really good. I then found my next outfit that I could use, the Minutemen General's outfit. Now this outfit was, yeah, this is just really good. It's an in-game outfit. I mean, it has like 80 energy DR and like 45 just regular DR. I then got the artillery, like equipment schematic, and yeah, I just assigned someone to it, and I was able to get these little like artillery pieces, and I just threw it on the ground, and yeah, the artillery was pretty fire watching it just go meow. Like, that was awesome, just watching it blow up. And then I went back to Mr. Preston Garvey, and he said, the Institute's attacking! I was like, okay. And so I went there and just placed some defenses there, but I didn't have too much time because the Institute started charging in, so you know what I did? I just charged at them with my 5-crank laser musket. Yeah, this thing was no match for them. They were all dying to it. Nobody was safe from the 5-crank laser musket. Ronnie Shaw here gave a speech saying, we need to stand up. And then I took better criticals after that speech and talked to Preston Garvey. He was happy that the castle was defended after all. And I said, hey man, we gotta take the fight to the Institute. So I type in the little code in this like sewer area, I guess. And then I shoot these little turrets in the sewer. And then we push in to kill more synths on the way to the Institute tunnels. Now, I don't know why there's so many synths in like this maintenance area. I don't know. Maybe they're like maintenance synths or something like that. I then go through this little sewer tunnel, and we make sure to upload the like relay for everyone to hop through this like, I guess, teleporter, probably at Sanctuary. And then everyone comes through the teleporter. Preston gives me this little fusion charge, and yeah, the fusion charge, I'm gonna use it to blow up the Institute. I then get through the Institute, killing all the synths that are in my way. No synth is gonna be left alive here. I will murder every synth that I see that is attacking me. I then killed all the synths in the bio research area, and then I head outside, killing some of these legendary synths. I didn't even know that there were legendary synths, but yeah, apparently there are. I then talked to Father one last time and convinced him, hey man, just shut down all the synths for me, man. And he said, you know what? Because you have 7 charisma, yeah, I'll do it for you. And so yeah, every synth was then shut down from the network, allowing me to get through the facility a lot easier than, well, I mean, if they weren't shut down, I guess. And then I also ordered the evacuation. I then took a level up, and I guess I just put it in perception because I didn't know what to put it into. I then went into the advanced systems area and killed all these legendary synths here. I died a lot in this area, but I was able to make it through, plant the reactor charge, and then I got teleported out by Sturges, and then after that, I just talked to Sturges, and I said, hey man, let's nuke this place and just get out of here. And then on my way to get back to the portal, these Minutemen just started body blocking me. But I got my way onto this little portal, and then I TP'd my way out. And once we were on the little roof outside of the Institute, I got a little button, and I looked at it, and I pressed it, and then the Institute was no more. Thank you guys for watching so much. This is my first Fallout 4 video. I'm really trying to just, do different things. I'm also going to be doing probably community challenge Fridays, so I'll take your comments or your messages in the Discord and just, do them in Friday videos. I could do 2 videos a week, but I'll see how that goes. But thanks for watching, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Peace.